I've been putting this off for a long time. I've reviewed so many of these games by this point, but now we have to talk about the one that I really didn't want to. This entry came between two massive entries in the series. It's the black sheep of the RE family. It's my least favourite. Today we are talking about Resident Evil 0. I first played RE0 over 2 years ago on Twitch, immediately after I finished RE Remake. I knew this game came out in the same year, and it was the same style, and I thought I knew what to expect. As it turns out, I didn't like the game. I played about an hour and a half of it, and gave up. Got bored. And I never went back since, and I wondered if maybe I'd been a bit harsh on it. So I went back and replayed it recently. I booted up RE0 with the intention to play a good amount of it for this review so that I could gather footage and my thoughts on it. I played the same hour and a half that I played all those years ago, and I still didn't like it. And I gave up, turned off the game, uninstalled it, and now I don't really know what to say. I don't want to play the game again, ever. And while I maybe have minimal experience with it, I would still like to tell you all why I despise this entry in particular in the Resident Evil series. Right off the bat, let's get one positive thing I have to say about this game out of the way. These are the best pre-rendered backgrounds I've ever seen. Since the developers had access to the original images this time around, unlike Remake, they look incredible when upscaled. Sometimes in Remake I would notice a particularly odd looking background with the sharpness cranked too high and several layers of filters to hide the low quality images, but RE0 has no such problem. The subtle details in these backgrounds are fascinating to look at and are far more varied than Remake. Within the one part of the game that I played, I saw the inside of multiple different train carriages, the roof of a moving train, a disgusting kitchen, the back of the train, control room, an underground tunnel, and a hall that looked an awful lot like the main hall of the Spencer Mansion. All of this with many interesting details like this guy's hand swaying side to side, along with the train's movement. On the gameplay side, this mostly follows the standard RE formula, exploring an area for ammo, healing and key items to progress the story, with zombies all over the place to drain your health or resources. Sounds fine, until you factor in the biggest shift in this perfected formula: the partner mechanic. This game is the only one in the series where you control two protagonists, Rebecca Chambers, the youngest member of STARS and their medic, and Billy Cohen, an escaped convict who murdered 23 people. These two find themselves aboard a train owned by Umbrella as the first ever instance of a T-virus outbreak is unleashed upon them. Yeah, as you may be able to tell from the title, this is a prequel to all of Resident Evil. Who the fuck asked for this? Seriously, who was playing the original Resident Evil and thought to themselves, I wonder what was happening here exactly one day before all of this happened? Yeah, not kidding. One fucking day. Why the fuck was this even made? I genuinely want to know what went through the executives' minds that they considered this worth making. I would understand if it was maybe a prequel that went back years and maybe showed the foundings of Umbrella, but it doesn't, and all the character development Rebecca gets in this game is completely undone by her existence in RE1. I looked it up. She fights a tyrant in this game, and the next day she cowers in the corner at a hunter. You fought a super soldier bioweapon that can take on trained military in combat, and yet you're cowering in the corner because of the Hunchback of Notre Dame over here. The gameplay has you taking control of one of the characters, and the other is controlled by the AI. This on its own is not an issue, but what is an issue is playing fucking menu manager. You need to do this in the other games, yes, But here it is particularly annoying as I need to sort out what both of these shite for brains are carrying, and there's no item boxes. One of the most iconic systems in the original RE games, and this one just does away with them for no reason other than to add about 10 hours onto your playtime as you swap, drop and backtrack for items that you haven't used for hours because one puzzle needs this item and then you'll never fucking use it again. If there were item boxes, this wouldn't be an issue as you would just hop to the nearest safe room, but here you have to go to the exact place you left it and it just adds needless frustration. I didn't even get to the things I've seen other YouTubers complain about, like the monkeys, or the other bosses, or points where the game will stop you from using one of the characters, so any items they had on them are just gone for the time being, and the story, which, from what I've seen, isn't even worth discussing. And that's all I can say about Resident Evil Zero, because I truly do not care enough to ever pick up this entry again. I'm quite happy to just leave it, and I recommend that you all do the same because of the needless additions that just add frustration and the annoying bullshit that it adds in, and also the fact that the story is basically pointless. I mean, this is probably one of the easiest skipped numbered entries in the series, so yeah, I recommend just steering clear. And if you're a fan of this game, please don't let this video negatively impact how you think of the game. If you think it's fun, good on you, because you found something in it that I couldn't. Whereas I find it annoying and frustrating and bullshit, you find it incredibly fun, and I really do envy you, because another good entry in the RE series is certainly something that I could be doing with. But, on that note, if you enjoyed, please remember to like the video, subscribe and hit the notification bell. And also please consider checking out my socials and my Patreon, they're all linked down below, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.